Hi there, Julianne Jones here, coming to you from my home office with another edition of the answers to my video Q&A Monday questions from the Facebook fan page. So let's go ahead and dive in. I had several questions this week, which is awesome. Question number 1 from Ida Gibson. What is the best method of keeping track of customers and following up? Well, Ida, that's a great question, and there are actually several different methods, even that I teach in my Get Organized and Take Back Your Life program. It kind of depends on your style. So if you tend to be more of a hands-on paper person and you use a paper calendar, then you want to make sure that you put the dates that you want to follow up with that person, that you put reminders in your calendar so that you know they're not falling through the cracks, and you're going to look at that and remember to call them. If you're an electronic person and you use a smartphone or Outlook or Google Mail or some sort of an online system, Google Calendar, you can add reminders electronically, and then that reminder pops up and says call so-and-so on whatever day you're supposed to do that. The key to follow-up and customer tracking, though, is consistency. And so you have to make sure that you're putting the note in your calendar or you're adding the reminder to your phone every single time that you need to remember to follow up. And if you're working with the same person, maybe you're following up over a series of a couple of months, you have to make sure that as soon as you talk to them, you go to your chosen calendar, whatever method that is, and you make a note about what you talked about on the next follow-up date. So if someone doesn't say yes, but they don't say no, then hopefully you're asking, can I follow up with you again in a week or so or a month or whatever. And if they say yes, then it's really important that you go to that whatever system you're using and you put that reminder in your system right away, so that when that date pops up, you will remember. Because I promise, if you don't put it in there, you're not going to remember. There's too much going on. So consistency is the key. Make sure you choose a system that you feel comfortable with and that you love. And if you want more details, and there's actually a whole module or part of a module in the Get Organized and Take Back Your Life program on follow-up and systems and making sure that you have a system that works for you, and I outline in detail all of those. I'll put a link to that program below this video, but that'll get you started and give you just some tips for that. So great question, thank you. Lauren Alexis Villa, or Via. So I'm wondering about some tips that you might have about time management. I work full-time. I'm in a split household due to the fact that I'm moving in August, and I work until 5 p.m., but by the time dinner dishes and getting lunches ready for the next day are done, it's about the time that I should be getting to bed to get up for the next day at 5 a.m. to start over. That's a long day for sure, Lauren. I'm having trouble working my business in the very little downtime that I have, and I can understand that. So I guess really the only thing I can tell you about that is to see if you can find pockets of time where you are maybe wasting time by, those are like time drainers, things like, playing a game on your phone or sitting on the internet and, clicking on links that aren't really getting you anywhere. I know that I can fall into a rabbit hole big time. If I see something, on Facebook, I click on a link and all of a sudden then below there's all these other links, and pretty soon the next thing I know, it's an hour later, looking at like pictures of bad plastic surgery in the top 10 celebrities or whatever, and things that really are not a good use of my time. So start paying attention to the time wasters or in your life, or the time drainers, things that are stealing your time. And you maybe could find up to an hour or two, a day where you could use that time instead for your business. I think you're going to have to learn to do it in small chunks. So it would also really behoove you to create some sort of a system or list so you know what you need to do on a daily, weekly, and monthly basis. And that's a really important, it's going to be even more important for you, I think, because you're fitting your business in, whenever you can, as opposed to having like a dedicated day or week or, every day when you sit down and actually do it. So having a list that you can work off of so that the time that you do spend is the most productive would also be really important. So sit down and there's actually 5 categories that in the Get Organized and Take Back Your Life program that I referenced earlier, there's a whole time management sort of like module where I talk about all this in detail. And there are 5 categories that I actually use throughout the course of that program that might support you as you're looking at what you do for your business. So those 5 categories are customer support, downline support, follow-up, and that all that entails, party preparation, host coaching. Oh, I'm sorry, and administrative. So actually follow-up falls under administrative. So follow-up administrative, party preparation, that's anything you do to get ready to walk out the door for your party, and host coaching. So that should help you, at least to kind of get some things down on paper. So hopefully that helps. Thanks. Good question. And I know you had one more question. What advice do you have if I'm trying to build my business in 2 states? Do I focus on my current state and reestablish when I move, or work them both at the same time? I think, given what you told me about your schedule, working them both at the same time is probably a little out of the realm. So I would focus on where you are now, because you can always continue maintaining that business once you move. And then if you do happen to be, like you said, you're in a split household. So like if you're maybe at your other location where you're going to be in August on a weekend, or maybe you go there to spend a week or whatever, then you could focus while you're there maybe on cultivating some relationships, finding some potential hostesses, that kind of thing. But for the most part, I think, especially given your limited time, I would focus on where you are right now in the moment and establishing those relationships so that when you move, you can maintain them. Okay, thanks. Good questions. Shelly Whipper. I am with a health and wellness network marketing company. Within my company, the standard is to do education classes for interested people. And we did that. I was in an MLM company and did that as well. Due to some changes in the way that we can present and talk about our products with people within my company, I'm looking to convert my educational classes into parties, making things more fun for my guests. Always a good idea. Network marketing is a little different than direct sales. Actually, it's all direct sales. It's network marketing versus party plan, just FYI. But there are many similarities, obviously. My question is, does anyone who is in a network marketing company, specifically health and wellness, successfully do parties like the people in the party plan industry do? I will tell you the answer is yes, and I actually was one of them, Shelly. I transitioned from a party plan company to a multi-level marketing nutrition company. And I had a $4,000 kit that I started out with that I had to sell within 6 weeks. And so I started doing shake parties because that was what I knew how to do. I knew how to do parties. I created my own little host plan that gave my host a few benefits, because obviously your company's not going to have those, but you can create that. And I sold my $4,000 kit in 3 weeks. And I will never forget when my upline called me and said, "How'd you do that?" And I said, "I'm just doing shake parties." And they said, "What's a shake party?" So I just would take my product and I would go in. One of the most popular things I did was to go into lunchrooms in local businesses, if they'll let you do that. Because, people are naturally hungry. They're there. They're kind of dropping in. And I did really well with those. I also have worked with several companies like yours. I don't know which company yours is, but I've worked with several MLM companies or leaders from those companies who have the same idea you do and taught them. And really, honestly, a party is a party. It doesn't matter what you're selling, from legal services to, cookware and jewelry and everything in between. Like you said, making it a party environment is really the key. And so just, focus on, go to my blog and read some of the blog posts I've written about parties and making parties fun, and you should be on your way. So hopefully that'll give you some kind of a start anyway. And actually, interestingly, Kathy, I had a question. Someone asked, is there a difference between multi-level marketing and direct sales? So they're all direct sales. Multi-level marketing is more recruiting driven, and it is product driven as well. But when you get into an MLM company, their first goal is to get you to bring as many people as you can on board with the business. And they really lead usually with the opportunity. That's very common. And it's the party piece of it is generally not as well known. So the party plan industry is a little bit different. Generally, party plan industry, people lead with the product more than the opportunity. And the whole idea behind a party is to get people together to experience your product. And then obviously you do share your opportunity as well. But they're two sides to the same coin, kind of. The structure is the same. The whole concept of building a downline to build your fortune and your stability is the same. It's just sort of the approaches are kind of different. That's my take on it. Someone else might give you their opinion, but that's what I think. Awesome. So that's it. All I have for you today. I hope that you're having a fabulous week, and make sure you come back to the fan page next week because I do video Q&A Monday every single week. And actually, next week I won't be doing it because I was going to be on vacation and I knew that I would be out of the office. So next week, I think you'll get a link to my previous answers. And if you're watching this on the YouTube channel, you can see all the previous answers. I have a special folder just for the video Q&A answers. You can find me on Facebook at facebook.com/Julianne Jones Inc. INC. You can follow me in my personal profile if you want. I can't take any more friends because I'm just about at my limit there, but feel free to follow me. I'm on Twitter here and there. I'm also pretty active on YouTube. I have a channel here, my blog, and so all those links are below this video. Please feel free to check me out and let's connect on the internet. I'm looking forward to finding you and having you find me very soon. Make it a great day.